Welcome back to episode 32 of Pokemon Blue and episode 2 of Pokémon Stadium. I was wrong, there's only one interesting match here. The rest are kind of, well, you'll see the rest, I'll shut up and let you listen to the announcer as soon as I get my team picked. As I'm taking this a little more seriously than I needed to.
Crowd excitement is building. This is round 4. Now, it made itself more evasive. Vigorous attack. Mighty blow from Word Go. Taken down on the Word Go!
You know, there are some people out there who say grass Pokemon in Gen 1 aren't very viable or good because Razor Leaf is their best move. These people are hacks and idiots. Razor Leaf is awesome on certain things anyway. Not every grass Pokemon's great, but Weed just one-hit KO'd one of the best Pokemon in the game. So... 2, but Golem doesn't count. It's times 4 weeks, so...
There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon.
This fight is, this fight's kind of silly, though.
The battle has become one-sided. Razor Leaf Flurry.
It was just, you know... All of his stuff was weak to grass, and I'm using a very good grass Pokemon. Even though, had that Starmie been faster, and I don't know why it wasn't. But had it been faster, that could have been really bad, because Weed is weak to Psychic. And, that Starmie probably had Psychic. The move Psychic, not the type. It is Psychic type as well, but... So I'm glad things turned out the way they did. Because that was an absolute massacre. Watch me take about 2 minutes to decide what to do here. Not gonna make you sit through that, though. I don't remember exactly what all was on my mind, because it was just a combination of things. I did not know what to bring into this, because I didn't know what it was even doing. I selected the wrong order, and then it was 2 minutes wasted because here's an example of Stadium's AI not being able to figure out what I'm doing. It's not able to learn exactly how I'm exploiting it because its strategy here is too complicated for it to catch on to what I'm doing. But I'm smart enough to catch on to what it's doing. It's doing something really simple. You know, I used agility expecting the Thunder Wave, and it screeched. I'm like, what is this Magneton doing? Whatever. I don't remember the defense or the special of a Magneton, so I'll just use Blizzard. See how much damage it does. And I don't really want a Hyper Beam unless I have no other choice. But that's not enough damage for me to deal with 2 Screeches. What is it doing? Well, it's actually quite simple. I'm going to swap, and then I'm going to find out immediately what it's up to and exactly how I'm going to exploit this entire match because the AI can't figure out that I'm exploiting it at this point. It's lowering my defense by a ton so that it can confuse me and then have me kill myself. A terrible strategy, but Stadium loves nothing more than having all of its rounds be gimmicky, so eventually you're gonna have bad gimmicks as well, and, well, lowering defense into confusion is not a good strategy. Especially if you don't start with the confusion. You need to confuse me first, then lower my defense. Bubble Beam. My cat shoots bubbles. It looks so much stupider in 3D than it does in the 2D 8-bit sprites.
Pokemon is being pressed.
But that's what Bubble Beam is. That's what my cat shooting bubbles looks like. It's exactly as stupid as it sounded.
How will the type difference affect
But now I've got his entire team figured out because, yeah, everything he had there can learn a confusion move. That was the piece of the puzzle that I was missing. Forgive me for not figuring that one out.
It's confused. What a
You know, even
furious
Magmar down there knows Confuse Ray, so... I think it's Confuse Ray that he learns. Yeah, it's Confuse Ray. Because I used a Magmortar before that used Confuse Ray. Because Magmortar's not that great.
The Pokemon returns to its Pokeball.
It's good enough. Decent enough, but it's not great.
Jolteon.
But that's in like three or so gens, so...
Its defense is down.
Yeah, the rest of this match is pretty boring because I'm exploiting terrible AI at this point because it can't figure out what I'm doing. You know, when I was doing that Swords Dance thing against the countering Primate, it was able to at least figure out what I was doing because it was all simple. This is a little more abstract because I'm metagaming. That's what I'm doing.
The battle has become one-sided.
But I start with this Thunder Wave because I knew I was going to be swapping. So, oh, he's fully paralyzed, so I might as well also Thunderbolt while he's out. I mean, right? Don't switch until you have to. I will end up having to switch, but, you know. Everybody gets the win there. Except for Blue Dragon, he didn't do much. This is really a team-up between Critty and Thundercat. Who is in fact a fox. He's never not been a fox. Again, it was just a stupid name. But I love my stupid nicknames. The stupider the nickname, the better. And that'll be match. Sorry for the boring follow-up to the previous episode. I promise you, the final match. I don't know when that starts. I don't know exactly when that is, so I can't tell you when to skip to, but the final match is worth it. Even though I have 6 continues going into it. But ignore those continues. I certainly do. I always forget that I have continues. I treat every match like I don't have continues because of that. That's why I take this so seriously. That helps preserve continues, I suppose. I guess this fight's a little interesting. This is like Blue Dragon's revenge for the last fight, because he's good enough for this team. Although I always like it when my Persian can fight another Persian.
The field is thinning out. We're into round 6.
Yeah, Blue Dragon's unfortunate because he's got a decent move set on him right now. It's high risk, high reward type of thing, but he just does not have the stats. He's got the worst stats, and this is part of my evidence for how I don't think Pokémon Stadium reads your inputs, because it wouldn't have done that had it read my inputs. If it was just going to switch right away, I don't think it would have started with the Kingler anyway. Like, got me a free Paralyze on the Venusaur, you know? And granted, I missed. But that's bound to happen with a high-risk, high-reward type moveset. Even though Blizzard's hardly high-risk, it has like a 90% accuracy, because, I don't know why. However, it can't take the follow-up. This is Blue Dragon's revenge, though. This is Blue Dragon's revenge for all the hard times he's had in this tournament up till now, because he does pretty well in this fight, might I say. He had a pretty good lineup. Because I'd rather not use Hyper Beam unless I have no other choice. That's why I make some weird decisions. Like against that Electabuzz, you might have been thinking, use your Hyper Beam, and I actually don't know what Electabuzz's defense is. I don't even know what its special is. I don't know Electabuzz's stats. It's I didn't want to risk that. You know, not with a move that wastes 2 turns. So you tell me if you know. Would the Hyper Beam have been the best choice there as opposed to 3 Blizzards? I mean, either way, I would have had to knock out in 2 for it to be worthwhile. So I don't know if I would have one-shot it or not, basically. And I doubt it, because it's hard to one-shot things in Pokémon Stadium unless you have absolute power in that situation. Such as that Thunder versus the Kingler. Blue Durgan! He is victory. You didn't get to see Weed or Thundercat again. As you'll notice that. You'll notice me using the same 3 things every time. You know? Maybe even 4. No, just the 3 right now, because Persian, Jolteon, and Victory Bell. You know, Weed, Thundercat, and Critty. Those are my 3 good things. I use them in every match. Blue Durgan's a close, almost good thing if his stats were better, and the other 2 are just not that useful in this tournament, I'm afraid.
This is it, the semifinals. No one wants to lose, having come
Oh well.
this far.
Let's see how Thundercat does against a Slowbro. These are really good, but I've got a really high critical hit rate, so I'll Thunderbolt. And I won't get a critical hit. But he'll survive by 1 because I didn't get a critical hit. And he'll critically hit me with a Psychic in retaliation.
That was bullshit.
Fireworks are flying.
It's just, you know. Slowbro's really slow, so he doesn't have a great crit rate. I'm really fast, so I have a really good crit rate. I'm just calling bullshit on that entire thing. Even though, you know,
The next Pokemon
it really kind of wasn't. I still had the advantage, but dang it, man. Would have been really bullshit had that Psychic lowered my special, but well, that didn't happen, so. I actually thought this Alakazam was going to be what got me, so I just, you know, I was expecting him to get me. Thunder Wave instead of Pin Missile, expecting horrid retribution, but no, he thought he tri-attacked him. That's a weird move to use. He's got a really low attack. I know I have a really low defense, but granted, the special move he does use isn't enough to actually really hurt me, but I don't know. I guess he was in a bad spot, too. Yeah, Thundercat holding on like a champ. And honestly, though, like Blue Durgan before him, Thundercat, like, royally owned this match. But it was a better match because Thundercat was almost wiped out. You know, spoilers, I'm sorry, but I told you everything up until the last one was really boring. I suppose had I not spoiled it, this could have been interesting, but I think you knew how this was going to turn out. I don't know if Aerodactyl's actually faster than Jolteon. But I would have, I'd have expected something already to be faster than something already. I don't remember what. Ignore me, I'm just forgetful. There was something used before that was faster than, or slower than me that I should have been. Oh, it was Weed versus that Starmie. Yeah, I should have outspeeded that Starmie, and I don't know why I did. That's why I don't know if Aerodactyl's faster than Jolteon or not, because weird things like that happen. Anyway, I have to use Bubba, and I have to use Blue Durgan. He's using that level 55 Dragonite. Don't assume he never will, he always will. So, the thing that I'm actually planning, or the things that I'm really actually worried about, is that Electrode. That's the only thing that I really don't want to see. Everything else is manageable. That Electrode, however, because I have to use Blastoise, I don't want to see him. And I start with Bubba and get him into a fight that I really don't want him to be in. I actually don't remember why I started with him. Well, it's mostly because I didn't expect the Dragonite to come out first, and you know, half his team is weak to Blastoise, so... And in Gen 1, Earthquake doesn't hit things that dig, apparently, so... I really don't want to be in this fight right now. I want to preserve Blastoise, or I want to preserve Bubba, and I want to preserve Bluderigan as long as I can for that Dragonite, because... That's a hard fight coming. So this entire fight rests on the back of Critty, who's going to get a free hit against him. And hopefully the Dragonite's not next, and hopefully Critty can take on whatever's next, right? This is not a great situation, ignoring the continues. Because I guarantee you I've already forgotten those continues are there. Like I said, I get into it. I don't think in terms of having continues. I think in terms of I need to win this fight. And a critical hit against the thing that I need to take on 2 things in a row. Wonderful. Wonderful. At least Critty's fast. So long as he doesn't use that Electrode, I'm good. Hopefully that doesn't spoil what's coming up. And I took the Surf, fortunately enough, but I don't think I can handle what's next, even if it is. Especially if it's Electrode. Which I've already spoiled it is. I'm terrible with spoilers. I'm sorry. Never go see a movie with me that I've already seen. I spoil the entire thing in the credits. The credits? No, the previews, you dummy. Yeah, he used the Electrode that I didn't want him to use. So wonderful. This essentially means, you know, Bluderigan needs to take out this Electrode because Bubba can't do shit against it. And, he also has to be able to maybe kind of help out with that Dragonite. I wanted both of them just in case the Dragonite went absolute beast mode on me. You know? Dragonite, especially a level 55 Dragonite, is nothing to scoff at. So I'm deciding what my best option is, and, well, it looks like Hyper Beam. The agility's never going to matter. He's just going to paralyze me, and he's always going to be faster than me, so... Hyper Beam it is. You know? I know he's got a huge special, so the other 2 moves ain't going to matter. I need this to end as quickly as possible. And Hyper Beam's going to be the only way I can do it. I can 2-shot him. I don't think I could 3-shot him with any of the other moves, so... Plus I'm paralyzed, I need to do it in as few moves as possible. And lucky he can't do damage to me, so... Right? Can't really do that much damage, right? Oh, he's gonna be a dick about it. So now I've got to hope that Bubba can take on the Dragonite all by himself, and he's taken a hit. And the Dragonite, I can guarantee you, before we see him use it, had Thunder. I knew he had Thunder. It's a Dragonite. He has Thunder. At the very least, Thunderbolt, but no, this is Pokémon Stadium. He's got Thunder. I have to be able to take a Thunder. Oh, he could miss. It's a really, really easy move to miss with, but if I can hit with this Blizzard, it's over.
To the wire. Here it comes! Thunder! Super effective!
Alright, game, set, match. His name is Bubba, bitch! I did not know how that was going to go. That was crazy. See, I so wish that I could have recorded the Master Ball Cup, though, because every match was like that. It was insane. But the team just wasn't good enough. Because essentially I had to use... I only had 4 things to choose from because Bubba and Boner weren't really capable. Ignoring that final shot on Bubba's part, but anyway, that's a little glimpse into Pokémon Stadium. If you can take on that, you can definitely take on the Elite Four, so I'll see you back there as we take on Victory Road with overpowered Pokemon. Have a good day, bye.